What's up, guys? My name is Drybones, and today we're going to take a look at the $30 budget deck profile from Cyberstrike. In the last video, I unboxed the box, and now I have built a deck out of only the cards. So let's just begin. There you go. So first up, I'm using one copy of Cyberdark Chimera. The reason why I only use one copy is because of its effect to add power bond from your deck to your hand. And yeah, I'm only using one power bond in the deck, so I'm also only using one copy of that. Then we have 3 copies of Cyber Dark Cannon. With Cyber Dark Cannon, you can discard this card to add one machine Cyber Dark monster from my deck to my hand. Also, during damage calculation, if a monster equipped with this card battles, I can send a monster from my deck to the graveyard. So that's not a bad card. Then I'm using 3 copies of Cyber Dark Claw. This monster has the ability to be discarded from the hand to add a Cyber Dark spell trap card from the deck to my hand. And also, when the equipped monster battles, I can send a monster from my deck to the graveyard. All Cyber Dark cards have that ability, I think. Then I'm using 2 copies of Cyber Dark Horn. This is a little bit different because this is not a dragon, it's the machine. Because Cyber Dark Claw and Cannon are dragons, and these Cyber Dark Horn is a machine, and that is the cards the other Cyber Darks can be equipped to. Then I'm using 2 copies of Cyber Dark Edge, which has the ability to cut its current attack points in half and then attack your opponent directly. Then I'm using 2 copies of Cyber Dark Heal, and all the Cyber Dark machine type monsters has the ability to equip a dragon, a level 3 or lower dragon monster from my graveyard to those monsters. Now we are going to the Cyber Dragon saga, and we are using 3 copies of Cyber Dragon. And of course, in a Cyber Dragon deck, I need to use 3 copies of Cyber Dragon, obviously to summon the Cyber End Dragon later on. Then I'm using 2 copies of Cyber Dragon 3 and Cyber Dragon 2. When 3 is normal summoned, I can make all current controlling Cyber Dragons I control become level 5, and 2's effect: when this card battles an opponent's monster, this card gains 300 attack points. Then I'm using 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Core, which lets me add a Cyber Spell Trap from my deck to my hand. Then I'm using 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Hearse. This card was reprinted in this set, which is awesome because it's kind of expensive. And now we are moving on to the cards I only use 1 of. Cyber Dragon Phoenix. When this card is destroyed by battle, draw 1 card. Cyber Pharaohs. During the main phase, I can fusion summon a monster from my X deck using monsters in my hand and or field. Then we are using Cyber Dragon Nexter, 1 copy of that. Cyber Dragon Via, 1 copy of that. Then we are using 3 copies of Cyber Valley, which has different abilities to banish itself. And then we are using 2 copies of Attachment Cyburn, which gives a Cyber Dragon or Machine monster 600 extra in attack points while this card is equipped to it. Then I'm using 1 copy of Ling Ling, and last but not least, 1 Jisukiro, the Star Destroying Kaiju. And I'm using this card because of the ability to tribute opponent's monsters. To to just remove a stronger card from the field. Starting up, I'm using. Where it is? Where is it? There you are. I'm using 2 copies of Cyber Dark, Cyber Dark Realm, which lets me add a Cyber Dark card from my deck to my hand. I think. When this card is activated, I can add 1 Cyber Dark monster from my deck to my hand, with different name than that cards I have in my graveyard. Then we are using 2 copies of Cybernetic Horizon, which lets me send a dragon, which lets me send 2 dragon or machine cyber monsters to the graveyards. Then we're using the field spell Cyber Dark Inferno, 1 copy of that. Yeah, I ran out of sleeves for this. Then we're using 1 copy of Cyber Dark Impact, which lets me shuffle Cyber Dark Horn, Cyber Dark Edge, and Cyber Dark Keel back into the deck, and then summon my Cyber Dark Dragon from the extra deck. Then I'm using 1 Limit of Removal, double the attack points of all machine monsters I control, but destroying during the end phase. Then I'm using 1 copy of Cyber Eternal, and 1 copy of Overload Fusion, and then I'm using 2 copies of Cyberload Fusion, which would actually just have the same effects just as Overload Fusion. Then I'm using 1 copy of Fusion Deployment, and the last spell card is Power Bond. And now we're moving to the traps, and yeah. So starting off for the traps, I'm using 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, which is the best meta card you can have in this deck, because negate the effects of a face-up monster your opponent controls, which activates its effect. That is not bad. Then I'm using 3 copies of Cyber Dark Invasion, which lets me use a monster to give 1,000 extra attack points to the equipped monster, or send an equipped card I control to the graveyard to destroy a card opponent's control. Then I'm using 2 copies of Power Wall to send, for every top card I send to the graveyard, I reduce battle damage by 500 points. Then I'm using 2 copies of Cybernetic Overflow. I can banish Cyber Dragon monsters from my graveyard and hand. I think, what does it say? Come here. Gosh dang it. Face up on the field and or graveyard to destroy the same amount of cards opponent controls. And that is any number I get to choose. Then I'm using 1 copy of Call of the Haunted and Cybernetic Revolution. Call of the Haunted lets me choose a monster in my graveyard and summon it in face-up attack position. And Cybernetic Revolution lets me fusion summon a Cyber Dragon fusion monster, but it will be destroyed during the end phase. But now we are going to take a look at the extra deck, and I'm losing hold on my camera. Please. We are using 3 copies of Cyber Dark End Dragon. And yeah, you're probably thinking, why all 3 copies? Well, to summon him, I need Cyber Dark Dragon and Cyber End Dragon. So yeah, that's I will in the future meet, or I can tribute a level 8 fusion. I can choose a monster who has equipped Cyber End Dragon to it. But let's continue. I'm using 2 copies of Cyber End Dragon, then 2 copies of Chimeritic Overdrain, which gains 800 attack points for each material. Then I'm using 3 copies of Cyber Dark Dragon, which is one of my favorite fusion monsters from the series. This card, when this card is fusion summoned or special summoned, I target a dragon monster in my graveyard and equip it and equip it to this card. And this card also gains 100 extra attack points for each what's it called, monster I got in my graveyard. And the last is 2 copies of Cyber Darkness Dragon, which, keep in mind, this card, when this card is summoned, I can target 1 machine or dragon monster in my graveyard and then equip to this card. Not bad. But yeah, guys, that was my $30 budget deck profile for you guys. I will now build my competitive Cyber Strike deck profile, and yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. We will see each other. See ya.